Hi again, it's Nicole. I'm doing my third video in a row and I'm exhausted, so I'm going to try to make this one quick. These videos are my personal experience, not to be used as medical advice. Okay, so BG required. I want to talk about your BG required alert that you get on your phone, not your phone, on your pump, on your insulin pump. Okay, so this is what I wanted to say. BG required is the most annoying alert ever, and it feels like every time you turn around, your pump is telling you that it needs another BG. It feels random, it feels annoying, but the first thing I'd like to say about that is, and for an English teacher, I have come up with some bad analogies. I apologize, but here's another one. Your BG required is like batteries to your remote. It's annoying that you have to replace them. It's annoying that you have to put them in. But it doesn't matter because without it, the remote's not going to work. And without your BG required, your auto mode's not going to work. So you've got to do it. And you've got to do it whenever it tells you to, which is annoying. I agree. Except it's not random. And in fact, you can almost predict when you're going to get the BG required. And you can also use that 35% rule that I talked about in another video to help make sure it's a good BG and that it doesn't turn around and ask you again, or that it doesn't tell you to wait 15 minutes or whatever else it might, whatever else little tricks it might have. Okay, so this is what I want to say. There are times that your pump is going to ask you for a BG, and there are a handful of them. This is basically it. In addition to the couple of random ones that there really might be. There really might be a couple of random ones, but for the most part, these are very predictable. Here we go. When you are trying to enter auto mode, it's going to ask you for a BG. For the most part, occasionally it'll let you calibrate and then it'll take you right in. Oftentimes, however, it'll ask you to calibrate and then it'll ask you for a BG as well. I'm sure there's a good explanation, but I can't think of it off the top of my head, and I'd like to keep this video short. Okay, 2. When you have attempted a calibration that fell outside of the approved 35%. So if your calibration wasn't good and it doesn't jive with what your pump is, thinks you are, then it's going to ask for a BG to kind of confirm and to try to help sort it out. So again, a way to avoid that one is your 35% rule, which again I talked about in another video, but it's just making sure that that number you're putting in is within 35% of what your SG is. You do that, it's like smooth sailing. Okay. When you have entered a BG that just doesn't jive with the recent one. Okay, so the same thing. It's the same. If your calibration is no good, it's going to ask for a BG. If your BG that you're entering isn't near your BG that you already have, it's the same thing. Your pump is going, wait a minute, what, no, let's do this again, right? And then it's going to give you that annoying, please wait to enter BG. So some of these things can be avoided by making sure you're giving it a good one that's within your range. Okay, here's the big 2. When you have been at minimal delivery for 2.5 hours, it is going to require a BG. If you don't give it that BG within 90 minutes, it's going to kick you out of auto mode. On the flip side, when you have been at maximum delivery for 4 hours, it's going to request a BG. You have 90 minutes. If you don't enter, you're out of auto mode. Both of those scenarios, you'll enter safe basal for 90 minutes, and then it kicks you out. So there's even a way to kind of handle that, and that is during the day, you just got to watch for it. I have other videos about that, but one good habit is to calibrate right before you go to bed. If you calibrate right before you go to bed, first of all, it's not going to ask you for a calibration in the middle of the night. Second of all, you have a chance to kind of check to see what your sugar is. Hopefully it's in a good range. And there won't be much minimal or max delivery throughout the night, which will require the BG, requireds. Okay, so that's a lot of talk. The tips that I try to use every day, I use my 35% rule before I put in a number. And if I'm way off, I wait. It's better to exit auto mode and hang out for an hour for me than it is to have a bad calibration that then results in, after the next bad calibration, having to change my sensor or just, losing control of the whole thing. I do calibrate at bedtime almost every night, and I try to go to bed within a decent range because if my range is good, it's not doing minimal or maximum delivery. and I'm getting good night's sleep. Thank you, Auto Mode. Thank you, Medtronic. I'm gonna have a complaint in my next video to them, but not this one. Okay, and that's it. So thank you for watching, and I hope that helped. Bye.